SS William Rayburn. Please join me in welcoming Billy Boyd to the front of the stage. All right. And our next honoree is Mr. Louis Simfisi. Mr. Simfisi joined the U.S. Maritime Service at the age of 16, and he forged his parents' signature just to do so. He also served in Korea and Vietnam. Thank you, Mr. Simfisi. And our next honoree is Mr. William Fahini. Mr. Fahini was sent to the South Pacific as a Kings Point cadet. He was eventually drafted into the U.S. Navy and was commissioned, and he was a lieutenant when he retired. Please welcome Mr. Fahini. All right, and our next honoree is Mr. James Lindsay. Mr. Lindsay spent 4 years in the Merchant Mariner service. During World War II, he served on an Alcoa Master, the John W. Davis, the Percy E. Foxworth, and then he joined the U.S. Army Air Corps. He didn't have enough, and he spent 23 years in the Air Corps. All right, let's give it up for Mr. Lindsay. Very nice. All right, and now our next honoree is Mr. Charles Mills. Charles Mills began his maritime career in 1937. Think about that. He started it in 1937, and he climbed aboard the gangway of the SS Carleton. He sailed throughout the entire war and is a charter member of the National Maritime Union. Please join me in welcoming Mr. James Mills. All right, and our next honoree is Mr. John Nelson. Mr. Nelson served aboard 2 U.S. Army hospital ships, the Louis A. Milne and the Larkspur. Following that, and for a majority of his World War II service, he served aboard 2 U.S. Army transport ships, the Wabash Victory and the Bridgeport. Please join me in welcoming Mr. John Nelson to the front of the stage. Alrighty, and our next honoree is Mr. Maxwell Nelson. Mr. Nelson trained in St. Petersburg, then in Fort Trumbull, New London, Connecticut, as a 3rd engineer. At the age of 22, he was aboard the SS Daystar, and he was an oiler on the SS Sweetwater and the SS Sandsport. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Nelson. All right, and our next honoree is Mr. Lawrence Nunink. Mr. Nunink trained at the U.S. Maritime Service Training Station in Avalon, California. In 1945, he was assigned to a brand new ship, the SS Glenn's Ferry, which headed to the Philippines carrying 6 million gallons of gasoline, a floating bomb right there. He completed his service in 1947. Let's give it up for Mr. Nunink. All right. Our next honoree is Mr. George Offenhauser. Mr. Offenhauser trained at Catalina Island, and then he shipped out during the war on the SS Plattsburgh, a T-2 tanker. And he also served on the SS Wabash Victory. Please join me in welcoming George Offenhauser to the front of the stage. All right, and our next honoree is Mr. Mark Onkow. Mr. Onkow was only 15 years old when he enlisted. He served a full year taking German and Italian POWs to and from Egypt. He served aboard the John P. Harris, the Walter Forward, and the Waterbury Victory Ship. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Mark Onkow to the front of the stage. All right, and our next honoree is Mr. Julian Smith. Mr. Smith worked in the galley aboard the SS Henry D. Whitten at the age of 18. And in January 1944, he joined the Merchant Marine, missing the last 5 months of high school. He worked in deck departments as both a seaman and a helmsman, and he gave a great story this morning at breakfast about being a helmsman. And he served in 3 different war zones. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Julian Smith to the front of the stage. All right, and our next honoree is Mr. Donald Spirier. Mr. Spirier started his maritime training at Kings Point, New York, and then he went on to be deployed aboard a brand new T-2 tanker as part of a convoy to Britain. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Spirier to the front of the stage. All right. And our final honoree of tonight, Mr. Harold Wellington, my personal friend. It's just such an honor to be here with Mr. Wellington. Mr. Wellington completed basic training at Sheepshead Bay. He served in the Merchant Marine from 1942 to 1946. After his World War II service, he went on to sail aboard ships that supplied Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. Please welcome my personal friend, Mr. Harold Wellington, to the front of the stage. Yes, sir. All right, and one more big round of applause to these American heroes. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Merchant Marine.
I don't know what was better, listening to the victory bells or actually watching the veterans singing that song. I'm going to be smiling all day. Congratulations, gentlemen, on your high honor as recipients of a Congressional Gold Medal. Now, please join me in welcoming Sheila Sova, Vice President of American Merchant Marine Veterans, and Charles Mills and Stephen Watson to the stage for this morning's final presentation.
On behalf of the American Merchant Marine Veterans Organization, I would like to present a Congressional Gold Medal duplicate to the National World War II Museum here. Thank you for hosting us, and thank you for preserving the legacy of the Merchant Marine.
Thank you.
This makes me really,
Step over here a little.
okay.
Go ahead. It's your day. Okay. Come up to the microphone. I'm not going to stop you.
I just told them I'd like to say a few words of thank you. There are a lot of people that helped the United States Merchant Marine and getting the gold medal. Some we haven't thanked. I'd like to thank the Congress of the United States who waited 70 years to vote to give us this medal. They still are entitled to thanks. And I want to thank the Gary Seamus Foundation for their support. And also to thank the museum. And thank all of you who took the time today to come to join us to celebrate this award of the gold medal to the United States members of the Merchant Marine. The American Merchant Marine Veterans Organization, thank all of you very much. Have a good day.
Oh, man, give me a big hug, will you? I love you. I couldn't have done this without you.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Thank you, Sheila. Especially thank you, Mr. Mills. And thank you, American Merchant Marine veterans. Thanks to each of you veterans recognized in today's program for your service in the Merchant Marine during World War II. Of course, also thank you, Mr. Wayne White, for your service with the Merchant Marine in World War II as well. Our nation will be forever grateful for your contributions to the war effort and to our victory. I'd also again like to thank the Gary Sinise Foundation for sponsoring the travel for our veterans today. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, Gary. And thanks to all of you who joined us here in person or online today for today's commemoration. Congratulations to our Merchant Mariners on their Congressional Gold Medal. Please take care, and we'll see you again next time here at the National World War II Museum. Thank you.